This is the Homer Hour, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Here's Emmy Award winner, Homer.
The busiest 60 minutes of your day. The Wednesday Homer Hour, starting with Rain Man. Caller number 5. 1-800-990-3776. Caller 5, 1-800-990-3776. You automatically get a $25 gift card from Cousin Subs because they're nice. I wanted to set a standard. You have to get so many right. They said, nope. So you automatically get $25, and you have a chance to win the award for the competition, which runs until the end of the year, and someone will have a chance to win Cousin Subs for a year, value about $300. I think we're still at 7.
Yep, Matt and Tosa was 7, and also Nick in Sussex was 7.
Matt and Nick both was 7. They are the only two who can't compete. If you are the leader or tied for the lead, you cannot compete. Everybody else can. I don't even think we have a rule about you can only do it and then you can't do it again for a month. Couldn't you win back-to-back weeks and then have a chance to compete?
You have to go to ESPN Wisconsin, the rules, ESPNWisconsin.com. But I believe
it's got a couple weeks or something.
Prize. Yeah. It's every 14 days, a couple weeks, I think.
All right. I, of course, don't know the rules. Pebble, listen to him on that.
ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
There you go. So, Cousin Subs, an outstanding partner. 1-800-990-3776. Again, caller number 5. We do this every Wednesday at this time. And in addition to Cousin Subs, another outstanding partner is Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. But there's more, and I was many years getting to this. It's Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, and doing it well for over 50 years. That's how it's easy to understand how they can be so good, because they've been doing it well for so long. So now, Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service, and doing it well for over 50 years, a phone number you can remember. All you got to know is 783. Just think of 783. Saganiac Planning, 262-783. Roger Maris, 6161.
That number again, 262-783-6161.
We might be able to change that if the guy with, who's it with, Raleigh?
Cal Raleigh, yeah.
If he goes 61.
The big dumper?
Yeah. But that just means he has a big butt, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Big butt. Well, I don't know that I can think in my lifetime of any player to hit that many home runs as surprising. I still don't know anything about him. The only one I can remember as surprising was one year Brady Anderson hit.
Yes.
And then
like 51 or something
right.
Like that,
it turned out he was all juiced, right?
Of course,
something
yep.
like that. But yeah, this is off the charts. And he's at what now? 58? I'd have to check 56, 58. But again,
56.
56. So we have Saganiac Planning. And yes, maybe it will no longer be Roger Maris, 6161. A judge messed up by hitting more than 61. Saganiac's not going to change their phone number to 62 is what I think he hit. So Cousin Subs and Saganiac Planning, thanks to them both for participating in Rain Man, which was, yes, stolen by me from ESPN. All the aspects, a part of ESPN, are no longer with the company. But it is 15 questions. And you get 2 minutes. Joe in Milwaukee. Joe, you're on 94.5 ESPN. I don't really care how you're doing, but I do care about your Rain Man resume. What can you tell us?
I played it once a very long time ago, not before you, like you were talking about just a minute ago.
And how did you do, sir?
I honestly don't remember. I don't think I did too terrible. Somewhere in the middle, I would guess.
Somewhere in the middle, which means that 7 would, judging by your information on your resume, I would think 7 is doable. The first question is the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. Saganiac Planning, such a great supporter of Marquette. So it's the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. The other 14 could be about Marquette, but not likely. The first one definitely is. You ready to go? Any questions you want to ask? Pebble's here to help you, though. I used to be, but no one ever listened to me. So do you have any question for Pebble as far as curiosity? Or
Yeah, he's done it before. He knows you got to get through all 15 questions within the 2-minute time frame. If you don't know, skip or pass.
I will pass.
You will pass. All right. Ready to go. The first question, again, the Saganiac Planning Marquette trivia question. 3, 2, 1, go. A Marquette assistant and head coach at another school in the 1998 National Championship game. Name him.
Carlisle.
Incorrect. Who is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
Kevin Stefanski.
Correct. Last Browns NFL title, they beat the Baltimore Colts and what Hall of Fame coach in the championship game?
One more time on that part.
Last Browns NFL title, they beat the Baltimore Colts and what Hall of Fame coach in the championship game?
Pass.
Minimum 50 games. The current NFL coach with the best regular season winning percentage, 71%.
McVay.
Incorrect. Who is second at 69%?
McVay.
Incorrect. Denver defense leads with quarterback hits at 19. What team is next at 18?
Packers.
Correct. Defensive sacks. New England leads with 9. What team is next at 8?
Packers.
Correct. Dating back to 2024. What tight end has the most touchdown receptions with 11? It's not Tucker Kraft.
McBride.
Incorrect. Where did Edgerrin Cooper play college football?
Texas A&M.
Correct. NFL draft. In what round was Cooper taken by the Packers?
Second round.
Correct. Name either of the current Packers taken in the 2019 draft.
Rashawn Gary.
Correct. Top-ranked team in college football.
Penn State.
Incorrect. Into tonight's play, how many wins for the Brewers?
91.
Incorrect. How many wins for Peralta so far this season?
16.
Incorrect. He leads the Brewers with 157 hits.
Bryce Terang.
That is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that got him to 7.
I got 7 as well.
Oh! You'll be mad. You'll be mad, Joe.
I know I'm going to be.
Well, we'll see. We judge that based on how many are correct by Pebble. Marquette assistant and head coach at another school in the 1998 National Championship game.
I can't think of it all. I have no idea, Homer.
Rick Majerus.
Rick Majerus.
Yep. Who was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns? Kevin Stefanski. Yes, he got to the finals in 1998 at Utah.
For Utah, yep.
Last Browns NFL title, the Baltimore Colts, and what Hall of Fame coach in the championship game?
Shula?
Don Shula is correct, 1964. There's no way the Packers could get there. Do you know why? They're the worst place kicker in the history of the NFL. I won't give his name. Minimum 50 games. NFL coach with the best regular season winning percentage, 71%.
Zach Taylor?
Nick Sirianni. Why wouldn't you think of that? He's got 50 wins. Who is second at 69%? Jim Harbaugh. LaFleur is third. Denver leads, 19 quarterback hits. Yes, the Packers next at 18. Defensive sacks, New England with 9. Yes, the Packers next at 8. Dating back to 2024, what tight end has the most touchdown receptions with 11? It's not Tucker Kraft.
Brock Bowers?
Mark Andrews. Man, maybe these are harder than I thought. Sorry to question that, Joe. Edgerrin Cooper, Texas A&M, second-round pick. Name either of the current Packers taken in the 2019 draft. Rashawn Gary was one. Who's the other one?
Jenkins?
That's correct. This is where Joe's not going to take this well. Top-ranked team in college football.
Yeah, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Now, Penn State.
Famous Ohio State Buckeyes.
Penn State might be number 2.
Yeah.
Into tonight's play, how many wins for the Brewers?
90.
You said 91.
Yeah. 86?
92.
92?
Yep. How many wins for Peralta? He said 16.
17, I think?
17. And yes, Bryce Terang leads the Brewers with 157 hits. I feel bad, Joe, because if you'd have got the wins for either the Brewers or Peralta, you'd be the leader at 8. And this means you cannot compete. You're now one of 3 tied for the lead. If somebody gets 8, then you're back in. Which do you feel bad about missing?
Majerus. That's exactly what I meant to say, not Carlisle, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't get that answer, but I don't ever have time to ask. And then you just, with Peralta and the Brewers, you're just unlucky.
Yeah, no, I'm a day behind. Honestly, I just didn't even think about yesterday's game. So,
yeah. Well, you're tied for the lead. Congratulations. Though I'm not sure how pleased you are. I think you're kind of pleased, right?
I'm somewhat pleased.
There we go. Somewhat pleased. Thanks for playing. Joe in Milwaukee joining Nick and Matt, both with 7. When we put this as you do on Twitter, I think someone will be able to do better. Primarily, Cooper was like 2 free questions. Maybe the 2019 draft, top-ranked team college football. That's 4 right there. A couple of the others. Again, minimum 50 games. NFL coach with the best regular season winning percentage. Nick Sirianni with Philadelphia. He is at 71%. He's 50-20. Jim Harbaugh is next at 69% because of his success with the 49ers. And Matt LaFleur is third at 67.6%. Jason Wilde is coming up soon, but I do want to mention Higher Love Cannabis Company, just located over the border, Menominee, Michigan. It's 9 seconds to be exact. Visit today, easy stop before or after a game or on your way through town. Higher Love Cannabis Company, Menominee, Michigan. Less than an hour from Green Bay. And yes, 9 seconds over the border in Menominee, Michigan. Award-winning, trusted, the best in the Midwest. Higher Love Cannabis Company, the real deal. With a flood of low-quality, unregulated products in Wisconsin, Higher Love Cannabis Company, safe, trusted brand you can count on, organically grown, locally owned, Higher Love Cannabis Company, best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD for more information. Still to come on the show, Jason Wilde and Tim Van Born. Jason Wilde is next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound on 43, we've got backups from Good Hope Road all the way down to Bender Road, back on the brakes south of Capitol Drive down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound slowing down from Beecher through the Marquette all the way up to about Burleigh. Westbound 94, watch for delays out of the Marquette to Mitchell Boulevard. More backups from Highway 100 past Sunny Slope Road and again past Calhoun. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Dedicated to helping businesses do business better. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 75 at the lake, 83 inland. Weather is brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. Easy and affordable apparel personalization with no minimums and fast turnaround. For all your printing needs, bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Come catch the final battle of the regular season when the Brewers host the Reds Friday, September 26th through Sunday, September 28th. We're celebrating the best fans in the game on Saturday, the 27th at Fan Appreciation Night, presented by Toyota. Plus, if you're one of the first 30,000 fans through the gates, you'll take home a Brewers tumbler giveaway too, presented by Quick Trip. Come close out the regular season with the crew. Get your seats today at brewers.com/tickets.
With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
We have had great offenses around here for a long time. And we've sat there, can the defense be good enough? And we have #fired every coordinator on defense we've seen.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We don't need no more fire. The hashtag guys, because Jeff Hafley ain't going to get, you're not going to get hashtagged with Haf. Because he's been an absolute home run hire.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The fall trade-up event is happening now at Cunis. With winter on the horizon, trade up now to a new, safe, and reliable vehicle. We'll do whatever it takes to make a deal at nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis locations in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and the new Cunis Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. We have huge incentives and discounts on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Thinking pre-owned? We have over 2,500 in stock with payments for every budget. Plus, check out our service specials on brakes, tires, and oil changes.
I'm Brian Bohm, General Manager of Cunis of Oak Creek.
And I'm Bill Eater, General Manager of Cunis of Greenfield.
We would like to invite you to take advantage of these great monthly specials.
And remember that your vehicle will be covered by our exclusive No Fear lifetime powertrain warranty included with new and qualified pre-owned purchases.
Call or stop in today for your VIP appointment.
Don't miss the Fall Trade-Up event. Start your search online at CunisMilwaukee.com.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango. Bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
This summer, your wishes take center stage at Wish Fest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all summer for over $1 million in prizes and earn entries into the Wish Fest prize drawings on Friday, September 26th. Your entries from July, August, and September all count. Plus, 5 lucky winners will have their ultimate wish granted. Wish big, win big. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Rain Man is brought to you by Cousin Subs. Skip the line and order online with a Cousin Subs mobile app and join the Cousins Club. Cousin Subs, they believe in better. This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
All Packers all the time with Jason Wilde. He's on more shows than anyone else. Go to Wisconsin, ESPN Wisconsin app, and then just hit Jason Wilde. You'll be busy for the next 3 days. Good evening, Jason.
Good evening, Stephen. How are you?
I'm good. What's on your list? I want to know, given all the great things to talk about regarding the Green Bay Packers, what do you have at the top, or what are you exploring that you think needs to be discussed, talked about, or you need to inform?
Yeah, we should probably start with something that's not as great. I mean, I guess it's glass half full or glass half empty great. Two very different affects when it comes to the two injured offensive linemen. Aaron Banks flat out said, I'm playing. He had told me that on Monday. He reiterated that today to the big group. So they should have their left guard back. Zach Tom, not nearly as confident or effusive. He didn't come out and say it. So I think Rob asked him, said, do you think you're going to be able to play? And there was this long pause. And then he said, ask me tomorrow. He did a little bit of individual drill work, but that was it. So I think it's unlikely that they'll have Zach Tom, which, that again, no one is going to be able to shut down Myles Garrett, and certainly not by themselves. So they're going to have to help whoever's there. But Anthony Belton, who is sure to see some of him or a lot of him on Sunday, he's got to be ready for that challenge again. And he played pretty well. But I really like the fact that Anthony, was self-aware enough to have looked at, because he talked about this with us on Monday. He's buddies with the right tackle for the Commanders, because they got to know each other at the Senior Bowl, as Josh Connerly from Oregon. And he's like, yeah, obviously, if you're a defensive coordinator, you're going to target the rookie. And the Packers did just that, right? In the game on last Thursday night, you could either send Micah Parsons up against 5-time Pro Bowler Laramie Tunsil, the left tackle, or you could, try and take advantage of the inexperienced guy. And what Anthony's point is the Browns aren't stupid. They're going to do the same thing to me. And he's right. They are. And so we'll see how he handles that challenge, because I do not think Zach Tom is going to be playing on Sunday.
Is Jordan Morgan not an option at right tackle?
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't know if they feel like this week with enough practice time, because remember, he started training camp. He was supposed to compete at left tackle. Then he's dealing with some injury issue, or they're dealing with injury issues. He moves and works at left guard. Then Rasheed Walker has an injury issue, so then Jay Moe is getting all the work at left tackle. Then Aaron Banks is back, acts up again. He's back at left guard. He also rotated, if you remember, in the first game against Detroit, he rotated at right guard. Literally the only places he hasn't played on the offensive lines from the start of camp till now is center and right tackle. And so, I would think, with his versatility, you could probably get him ready there. And then you have to decide, do we want Anthony Belton, who has played a game there now, it's a natural position for him, and he's been working there for quite a while. Do we leave him there, or do we say, okay, look, Jordan Morgan's our best guy, our sixth man, so whoever's missing, we're just going to put him in? I don't. That's a good question. We didn't ask Luke Butkus that today. We just got done talking to a couple of the assistants. He wouldn't have told us anyway. He wouldn't have said, yeah, no, Anthony was great, but we're going to play J-Mo there. He wouldn't have tipped off the Browns that way. But that is a possibility. I can't rule it out, that's for sure.
Is there legitimate concern that Zach Tom might be gone for a few weeks?
No. I mean, a few weeks meaning missing Thursday's game, missing this game, and I suppose possibly missing the Cowboys game?
I don't.
Yeah. I think there's legitimate concern for that. And then they got the bye in week 5. So maybe he admitted this, and I really think Zach's a smart guy. He doesn't really enjoy the media part, but especially when you get him one-on-one, he's really engaging and interesting and thoughtful. And he made a really good point. Everybody's dealt with a sprained ankle, a sprained knee, something, whether it's a finger injury or a wrist injury, hand injury, whatever. Right? You get hit wrong on the shoulder, you got a sore shoulder. But this oblique thing, he's never had that before. It's, kind of the hip, kind of it's the kind of the love handle area. He said when he goes side to side, he actually doesn't feel a lot of pain, but when he goes forward, he feels a lot of pain, especially when he runs. And while they're not running 75 yards down the field, the offensive linemen still have to be able to run, last I checked. And if he's not able to run and he doesn't have that short area burst and quickness without pain, I would not be surprised. I don't think he's playing Sunday, period. Finn. I would not be surprised though if he also didn't play in Dallas, and then they would have rested him. After the injury happened on September 7th, he would have gone the Commanders game, this game, the Cowboys game, the bye week, and then he wouldn't be pressed to play again until October 12th. So he'd have over a month from when the injury occurred. He said he doesn't need surgery. It's nothing like that. But again, when you have an injury that, Tausch will tell you, hey, if I can brace it up or tape it up and go, I'm going, right? But this is not one of those type of injuries.
By the way, it's the Bengals at home against October 12th, so he could pass on that one too. They're not going to have their quarterback. There'd be no reason to rush him back. So,
I mean, look, if to me the point is if he's ready to go, then great. If he's not, don't rush him. That's the last thing you want to do is rush him, have him have a significant setback, and now you're like, oh crap, now we're going to be without him for another month or month and a half. And I wasn't joking when I said this at the time. But it really sucks for Jayden Reed that he broke his collarbone. But, from the conversation that I had with him, when I found out that he had the Jones fracture in his foot, all along I'm sitting there going, man, most guys get surgery for this. And I literally said to him, that doesn't sound like something you should be playing through. And he said, well, I'm going to. So my point is that while you certainly don't want to suffer a broken collarbone in order for you to get your foot fixed, I think the fact that it forced him to go get his foot fixed because they just did both surgeries at the same time is probably a blessing in disguise, because if he doesn't break his collarbone, what are the odds that he gets through the entirety of the season without that foot becoming a problem? I think the odds are pretty good that something, that it becomes an issue on him. And so the fact that they did both surgeries and then, I don't know if it was, can't imagine it was his idea. I assume it was his girlfriend's idea to share on social media that he was feeling better, but he was still coming out of anesthesia, so it was quite an interesting video. I talked to Dontavion Wicks today, who was really funny. Those two are really, really good friends. Like, they consider each other brothers. And he said him and the rest of the wide receivers wanted to make sure that no one kept it from him, that he looked so ridiculous. So, like whether his girlfriend deleted it or hid the post or whatever it might be from him, they wanted to make sure. So they texted it to him, and they were getting after him pretty good, that he looked as ridiculous as he did.
Well, I would say this, that I hold the player responsible for everything the girlfriend does. Do
you hold Nancy responsible for everything you do?
No, I hold me responsible for anything she does about my career. But nicely done. You were amused. Curious. Yeah, I know. You just said.
I was very amused. You didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not see that coming, no.
Good.
I wanted to ask you, the quarterback hits. I noticed the Packers had like 12, but I've never really looked at that. Usually look at sacks. I think they're second in the league behind Denver. But is quarterback hits something you look at? What's appropriate to use that as a stat of significance compared to or with sacks?
Yeah, look, I'll give you the lowdown on that. The game book has, after the game, the official game book, like I'm sure the baseball game books after Brewers games have, some information, but, you got to look back on stuff to get the full picture. And so pressures, which are the best measurement of how effectively a pass rusher is getting to the quarterback and doing his job, because you can pressure and alter his throw and not necessarily hit him, right? Or not hit him hard enough that he's knocked down. A lot of times that statistic is viewed as knockdowns as well. It's quarterback hits on the official game book. But let's be honest, you can't always pick that up accurately in real time as the game's going on. That's what they watch the film for. So, I usually go to Pro Football Focus and see what the pressure numbers were. Like, Parsons had 8 pressures. I don't know how many quarterback hits the game book credited him with, but PFF had him for 8 pressures along with his half sack.
What do you look at?
I look at pressures, but again, like if I'm writing my game story after I finish talking to you late Thursday night last week, I don't have that, and I certainly don't have time with all my other responsibilities to go through all the defensive plays and go, okay, that's a pressure. So I go by hits, and they had a bunch of them in the game. I think, what do they have? They had 4 sacks and 8 hits or something like that. But sacks are hits, too, so it's also a kind of a misleading statistic because it sounds like that's 12 total things, and it's not. It's 8, and 4 of them are sacks and 4 of them are hits. So I don't love that stat personally. But, again, the most important thing, and this is, obviously sacks are what you want, and that's the most valuable thing to accomplish. Even better if you can, force the quarterback to fumble because you hit the ball while you're sacking him. But, the sack stat is not the best measure. Like, because think about it, even the best ones, they get like 20 sacks in a season, right? And they play, like Max Crosby played like 980 snaps last year. And he had 15, 18, something like that.
So there's got to be a better stat
because they're affecting the game way more than just those plays. And so but again, there is a better stat. Pressures are a better stat, but you can't. It's not the same as the numbers that you're able to have after you've watched film. You don't have those right after the game.
Yeah. I don't know if you'll join the club, and this one doesn't matter.
Probably not.
I'm not trading Malik Willis for a first-round pick. He is playing on this team. This team is too good, and I might need him. I don't know that I can be assured that Jordan Love is fine, and Maybe after this season, he's not going anywhere. First round pick, not doing it.
Yeah, I think even as someone who agrees with you in principle, first round pick, I have to say I'm willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He's an incredible insurance policy. But if you're actually offering me a first round pick for him, I'm doing it.
They already
right?
decided this year was more important than first round picks with another decision.
There's no doubt about that.
Okay.
That's a fair point. But what I'm doing if I'm the Packers, and again, I joked about this earlier. I don't know if I ever want to say I'm going to do what the Bears did, but what they did with Bagent, I always get his name wrong. I'm asking Malik Willis, hey, would you be willing to consider this? I really am, because I do believe he's in the right system with the right coaches. He has tons of talent. Like, people forget when he was coming out of Liberty, he started out at Auburn. It's not like he was some low-level recruit who ended up at Liberty. No, that's an excellent
point. That's just, that has to be mentioned.
Yeah,
the first thing about Malik Willis has to be that.
So I really, I was actually talking to him today about something else, about Love and his running the ball and dipping his shoulder like he did. But I want him as my security blanket. Now, of course, he, and rightfully so, he wants another shot at being a starter again, and he should want that, because he's only 26 years old, and he was in a clearly dysfunctional. Look at how bad things have played out for the Titans. Like, they drafted him, then they gave up on him and drafted Will Levis, then they gave up on him, and now they've drafted Cam Ward. Like, again, dysfunctional franchises do dysfunctional things. So I think now that he's in a stable franchise, he has a chance to continue to succeed. But to your point about not trading him, you're 1,000,000% right, which I don't say that very often about you.
Never has said that before, as a matter of fact.
Because again, now you have a team that you believe, and I agree with you, is a Super Bowl team. Whatever happens on a specific game day, if they win, those playoff games can go either way. They may not get to the Super Bowl, but they are a Super Bowl caliber team with what they have now, right? We all agree on that? What happened last year, what was the difference between making the playoffs and not? And that was that guy playing well enough for them to win not only the 2 games he started, but also the game that he came in Jacksonville. And I understand all 3 of those teams are AFC South teams, and they're not very good. But if you lose any one of those games, you don't make the playoffs. I think they lose the tiebreaker with, was it Seattle? Well, they had the head-to-head, so maybe not. Maybe if they lose 2 games, they don't make the playoffs. My point is that let's now take that up a notch. And, yeah, maybe they make the playoffs this year, even if Jordan Love misses a couple games. They're that good. But if it's the difference between getting a bye, or if it's the difference between having multiple home games on the road to the Super Bowl, you can't. If you have this good of a team, I always thought that was one of the things that, and Goody was part of it too, and Ted was definitely part of it, that they didn't value it. They were a little spoiled by how great both Favre and Rodgers were and how durable they were. And think back to 2013 when Rodgers breaks his collarbone the first time. They had brought in 2 quarterbacks after camp had ended. They didn't like anybody they had. They bring in Seneca Wallace and Scott Tolzien. And Scott Tolzien, the person, is one of my favorite humans ever. But he started a couple games.
One of your favorite humans ever?
Yeah, when Tom Mulhern was about to pass away, he was phenomenal. He's just one of the all-time great human beings. Wow. And I obviously I've got a lot of human beings I like, but he's one of my favorites. And so, but he wasn't good enough at quarterback. So they luck into the fact that Matt Flynn becomes available again. And we know what Matt Flynn had done in his previous tenure. Well, they go 2-2-1 in the 5 games Flynn played. Remember, he led that big comeback against the Vikings to get a tie when he went in for Scotty. And then he had another comeback in Dallas when they came from way behind, like 27-3 or whatever it was, to win that. They go 2-2-1. That's just enough to keep them afloat. to have that magical moment at Soldier Field where Rodgers hits Cobb on 4th down to win the game and win the division. But in 17, we kept being told how great Brett Hundley was. And then when Rodgers breaks his collarbone that year, what do we find out? Brett Hundley stinks. He was terrible. And I think the reality of what we've seen of Tim Boyle as he's bounced around to other teams, that if Aaron Rodgers had missed some time during the laser show period of Tim Boyle being the backup, they also would have been cooked in those games. So, again, I just think the idea of having a veteran guy, and not only that, but a guy that plays the game differently, I think there's incredible value in that. Like, he's a different type of player than Love is. So all of a sudden your game plan that you had, some teams, like when the Ravens first started having all their success with Lamar Jackson, they had Tyler Huntley as his backup, and he had a similar style of game. So they felt like, well, there's an advantage because we don't have to change anything. But I go the other way. In a game, maybe if it's the next week and a guy's missing, it's good to have something the same. But in a game, I want to completely throw off the defense that had game planned for my starter and now has a guy in Malik Willis who plays a very different style.
Last question. Has Elton Jenkins told the Packers, you either pay me more next year, I'm not playing. I'm giving you a heads up.
Yeah, I asked Luke Butkus about him today, actually. I mean, look, he is, Tausch said this morning when we weren't talking about his pitch, that he's up there as one of the most irreplaceable guys. He may be the most irreplaceable guy they have, just because they don't have, a lot of really good choices behind him at center. I think they'd be in really big trouble if they lost him. So again, I think he, in fairness to Elton, I know there were some people who are like, shut up and play, but he needed to try. It didn't work, and now he's just doing his job. But like with his cap number next year, they have to either sign him to an extension, which he will be turning 30 at Christmas time. So they either have to do something that they don't normally do, which is sign a 30-year-old guy to a third contract, or say, yeah, you had a great season, but at that cap number, we're going to move on and then roll the dice. And again, I think more often than not, Goody has been clearly right about moving on from older players. I also think he's felt burned by the Bakhtiari contract. So I find myself doubting that he would do that again. Once bitten, twice shy kind of a thing. But Elton Jenkins has played really good for them. That's Bulaga. He knows more about football than I do. And he's played really well for them, and he's a leader for them. He deserves to be taken care of, but I don't see that happening.
We'll discuss this in the future. I'm looking at the possibility of a short extension, but I'm not even sure such a thing exists. Thanks, Jason.
All right, Homer. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, all Packers all the time. Tim Van Born coming up soon. I am next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Eastbound on 94. It is still going to be pretty heavy right now, coming in from before Highway 16 all the way through the Barker Road area. You're back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way through the Stadium interchange to 35th. Remember, we do have that accident at the end of the 68th Street on-ramp, so just heads up with that. We've also got westbound 94 backing up out of the Marquette interchange all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 4394 right at Plankinton Avenue. We got the right lane blocked with a crash, so that's going to start to affect your ride on northbound 4394. Traffic is brought to you by Dickenschrauff Heating and Cooling, now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Join a winning positive team culture that sets them apart. Apply today at dickenschrauff.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 63. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 75 at the lake, 83 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
I've been to my fair share of green and gold games, and the best way to get there is with AccuTrans Group. At Good Karma Brands and ESPN Milwaukee, we use AccuTrans Group to get our partners to and from Green Bay, and it's always first class. From stadiums to concerts and tailgates, your game day fun starts the moment you step on board. Sit back, relax, and let their professional chauffeurs handle the traffic while you enjoy the ride. AccuTrans Group is Milwaukee's premier ground transportation, available 24/7 with sedans, SUVs, limos, vans, and buses. Book today at AccuTransGroup.com.
Football's back, and if you're headed up toward Green Bay, the perfect stop is Higher Love Cannabis Company, just seconds over the border in Menominee, Michigan, less than an hour from Green Bay. An easy stop before or after the game or anytime you're passing through town. And with so many low-quality, unregulated CBD products floating around Wisconsin, trust matters. Higher Love, award-winning, organically grown, locally owned, and the real deal. Higher Love Cannabis Company, best in the Midwest. Visit findhigherlove.com/CBD.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
The power of friendship has spawned a memorable baseball season in Milwaukee. When you choose to work with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the relationship is more than what feels like having a friend. Pella honors trust and commitment on your behalf, before, during, and after the sale. And with this month's incredible deal, Gina Della from Pella is here to share why you shouldn't wait to order new windows and doors.
Order today and get 0% interest for up to 60 months. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 9/30/2025. Escape to Lake Lawn Resort in Delavan, Wisconsin, where everything is better at the lake. Dive into endless outdoor activities, including boating, fishing, and paddleboarding on the serene Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind in the award-winning Calidora Spa. Enjoy gourmet meals at 1878 on the lake, casual bites at the Lookout Bar and Eatery, and sweet treats at the Isle of Capri Cafe. Explore Delavan Lake's stunning shores and historic landmarks from the comfort of their 76-foot cruise boat, the Lake Lawn Queen. Book your stay today at LakeLawnResort.com.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. Pebble, what are our numbers? I, of course, believe that Mark Tauscher has some sort of injury. There's no other explanation for his horrific opening toss at the Brewers game.
As I bring up Twitter here, Homer, look at today's Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. What do you think the reason was for Mark Tauscher's subpar first pitch last night at AmFam Field? 72% of the votes say he just tossed a bad one. 15% say he's hurt. 12% say he did it on purpose.
All right. I didn't expect I'd do well. I feel I have inside information on terms of how gifted Tauscher is athletically. And I believe throwing a baseball for Tausch at any age of any mound is as difficult as breathing. Doesn't mean that it would be perfect, but it means that performance is not possible unless there's more going on. Tune in to Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus audio network presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Behind the Bucks brings you exclusive access and untold stories about the greatest stars and moments in Bucks history. Go behind the scenes of Giannis' Emmy-nominated documentary. Hear about the true origins of Bucks in 6, that culture, and more. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcast. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher. The Brewers are playing against the Angels. And my expectations are the Brewers will be a 1 or a 2 seed, meaning they'll get a bye, and then they would be playing, I guess the options are the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Cubs, one of those three, in the best of 5, with the home field advantage. Not the slightest bit worried about anything other than maybe pitching injuries and the impact that could have on how good and how deep the pitching needs to be for the Brewers to advance far into the playoffs. Tim Van Voren, Fox 6 Sports, next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field? Secondary. Keyshawn Nick.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
Looking to heat up a career in HVAC? Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling in Milwaukee is now hiring HVAC installers and service technicians. Family-owned and operated, Dick & Trough offers competitive wages, a 401k match, health insurance benefits, and a winning, positive team culture that sets them apart. This is more than a job. It's a chance to grow with a company that truly values its people. Apply now to become their newest team member at dickandtrough.com. Dick & Trough Heating and Cooling. Come see the difference. Apply at dickandtrough.com.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango. Bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
I'm with James Imaging Systems client Preston Clark. He oversees IT services at Creative Business Interiors. Preston, you get the benefit of one-on-one relationships with the James team, like when your sales rep said something unexpected. What did they say?
Hey, this is a little high. You're not printing as much as we thought you were going to print.
Then the James team member had even better news.
Correct. Let's bring that down. Let's make it a little cheaper and still keep you on the same program.
The James Managed Print Services Program. All your document output devices bundled under one invoice that includes service and supplies for one low cost per print. Nice, right, Preston?
Yes, felt great. Felt secure, Don't have to worry about, again, somebody just coming in and selling something and then walking away and never hearing from them again.
James Imaging Systems, AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Even your pickiest eater will say yes to this. Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin Subs. Perfect on their own with a favorite dipping sauce, or stacked in one of our 2 new subs. Classic crispy chicken or bold Buffalo Ranch crispy chicken. Made with quality chicken and served on our fresh baked bread. It's a mealtime win for kids and grown-ups. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hi, I'm Jim Frucci, Managing Partner and PGA Professional at Morningstar Golfers Club, and I'd like to personally invite you to play your next round of golf at Morningstar. Lush green fairways, velvet smooth greens, magnificent vistas from high above our championship golf course. Morningstar was created with the serious golfer in mind, and it continues to be the public course by which all other area public courses are measured. Book your tee time today and reserve a spot on our membership wait list. Come out and see what all of Southeast Wisconsin's been talking about. Hey, you played the rest. Now play the best.
Tim Van Voren is brought to you by The Ticket King, your local and most trusted source for Green Bay football tickets. Visit theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The three most important letters in sports. Even better than those.
TVV.
It's Fox 6 Sports Director Tim Van Voren on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN. Tim Van Voren is brought to you by The Ticket King, your local and most trusted source for Green Bay football tickets. Visit theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007.
Yes, TVV brought to you by The Ticket King. Three-time Wisconsin Sportscaster of the Year, Hall of Fame wingman ad. He's won other things, but he just won't tell us. All right, TVV, I said the division is over. You have not agreed with me yet. Are you willing to agree tonight?
I'd nudge in that direction, Homer. Packers look
nudge
really good.
in that direction. I'll write that one down.
Yeah. Very small sample size over the course of 17 games. But you have to be impressed by what the Packers have done. I think the Lions are the clear number 2 in the early, assessment. So we shall see. Green Bay should be able to run up a pretty nice record here, which is obviously what Detroit and Minnesota both did last year. By midseason, they were kind of positioning themselves for, top seed contention.
What has impressed you the most about the Green Bay Packers this season?
All right. How many mistakes have they made, Homer? I am a big believer in teams beat themselves as regularly as they win games. And, the Packers have just avoided the big mistake. Okay, McManus missed a field goal. Belton had a penalty on a touchdown, gets called back. They're not flawless, but you understand where I'm going. They have not shot themselves in the foot. They have not had the critical mistake. The other night, I guess you'd say, the game was close enough. Hey, if Washington scores and then it's a one-score game and you have an ill-timed turnover, here it all goes. None of that has happened to this team. The formula is get ahead and don't make a mistake offensively and let your defense take over. Boy, if that is in play 17 times this regular season, it's going to be a successful year in Green Bay.
How do you want to talk about Hafley when asked relative to what the defense is doing, understanding changes in players, specifically one?
Obviously, he has a lot of weapons to work with. I was talking to Javon Bullard today, and I said, I think it kind of gets lost. You guys thought you were a good defense before you got Micah Parsons. He said, you know what, you're right. We thought we were really good defense last year. By the end of the year, we were really good defense last year. And I guess in reflection, he's right. If I'm a Packer fan or I like watching defense schemes, watch him this year because I firmly believe Jeff Hafley will be a head coach elsewhere next year as long as this projection continues. And then Homer. Okay. Start. Bring it back. Okay.
You just
head coach next year.
He's done. This is it.
I mean, based on this projection, I would say the guy's already been a head coach in college.
Okay.
He's obviously transformed the Packer defense. A lot of these Packer players were on the defense before. We talked about it. They were all first-round draft choices. You know what? There's been an upgraded coordinator. There just simply has been. You cannot get away from that fact. That's Jeff Hafley's impact. Started last year. It's continuing this year. And then now, Homer, we're in September. I'm not one to get all the way down the road. I don't like to do that.
You just did get down the road. You went down the road.
Well, on this one.
Yeah.
On this one, I would. I would ask you.
Yes.
Who replaces Hafley in Green Bay? Who goes with Hafley as his coordinator somewhere else if that happens? So if you like watching good defense, you like watching these players play, this way in Green Bay, pay attention this year because I would suspect changes would be in the offing if things continue to go as they look like they would. And I give Hafley, this isn't like a 2-game sample size for Hafley. To me, it goes back through last year.
Quay Walker, how much better is he playing, or what's your assessment of his ability? I don't know. I'm assuming you weren't as negative in the past as I have been. No player I can ever remember is running around sometimes, and I go, where is he going? What's he doing? But he has skills. So take it away, TVV.
The question you asked, Homer, was ability. No question about the ability of Quay Walker. If you're asking the question about performance or production,
yes,
that's where the questions do come in. And he looks better this year. He's certainly surrounded in that linebacker core by a group that's pretty darn good, right? I mean, Edgerrin Cooper has stepped forward, talked to Edgerrin about adding that weight this year. He said he feels the ability to thump more with it, hasn't lost any speed. Keep in mind, Edgerrin Cooper, what was the percentage last year? He did not play that many snaps.
59%.
Hurt a couple of times. Yeah, okay. So he's going to play a lot more. Their defense is way better with him out there this year. McDuffie is fine. Hopper is knocking on that door. Parsons makes everybody better. So I think Quay Walker's in that category. He's made better by the people around him. I don't know that they're, committing the future to Quay Walker. They're going to have some people they have to make decisions on. He would certainly be one of them. But are they ready to say, one of those other guys can take more of a full-time role? I don't know about that. Hopper or, McDuffie. They paid McDuffie going into this year. And I was talking to Isaiah today about, actually in that linebacker room, how the internal competition has made each player better. To be there, that used to be kind of a light room, Homer. We've talked about that a lot. You just starters and then there was a drop off. You don't have that anymore, and that keeps everybody on edge. I think that certainly includes Quay Walker.
Lucas Van Ness, give me an update.
Had a great. Great. What do I know? Seemingly had an improved off-season, preseason, training camp, etc., and has been more visible through 2 games of this regular season, and should be one of the guys who benefits most from Micah Parsons. The Packers have played 2 good teams so far. Keep that in mind. They haven't played one of these teams that can't. Last year they played all those teams from the AFC South. They haven't played one of those teams yet. Wait till they play one of those teams.
Isn't Cleveland one of those?
Dedicate. Well, offensively, they're having a lot of trouble protecting an immobile 40-year-old quarterback. So if they're putting 2 or 3 guys on Micah Parsons, shouldn't Van Ness be one of the guys who really benefits?
Tim Van Born, Fox 6 Sports. And now, the Tim Van Born Scouting Bureau. Anybody that you want to mention?
Not jumping to me, Homer.
Right.
Not jumping.
Okay,
I need another week.
That's fine. It's not as big an issue this year. And 15 seconds on the Milwaukee Brewers. Whatever you want to say. Isn't it all about pitching injuries?
Yeah, a lot of it. And McGill's the biggest concern there as far as I'm concerned.
TVV, Tim Van Born, Fox 6 Sports. I want them to hold Cleveland without a touchdown. Is that reasonable?
Oh. Maybe.
Maybe. Yes. What is that?
Maybe.
What is that? You'll nudge in that direction. Thanks, TVV.
Yeah.
Nudges. Your nudges don't do a whole lot for me, but I give them some level of credibility. All right, weekly wager. Next.
All right. Well, no more accidents, but we do have some delays. Westbound 94 leaving the Marquette interchange all the way in